When you think of a quintessential metal guitar, you are likely picturing a Jackson. But its first legendary design wasn't born in a lab. It was sketched on a napkin by Randy Rhoads. This single act of collaboration launched more than a guitar. It launched a design philosophy. Jackson would go on to pioneer the Superstrat, a guitar redesigned from the ground up for a new aggressive style. Today, we're dissecting how Jackson's player-focused designs and legendary partnerships built a rock and metal heritage. To understand Jackson's rise, we go back to the late 70s. A new wave of flamboyant, virtuosic heavy music was exploding. Players were pushing the limits of speed and technique, and traditional guitar designs were proving too restrictive. From a humble guitar repair shop, Grover Jackson wasn't just fixing guitars. He was listening to what these elite players needed. This focus on performance quickly earned them a reputation. Jacksons became known as the ultimate shred machines. This reputation was built on two key pillars. First, uncompromising performance through player-focused design. And second, an iconic and aggressive aesthetic that perfectly matched the music. It was about both substance and style. Let's start with performance. You always hear about Jackson's super-fast necks. But what does that actually mean? First, the neck profile is incredibly thin, allowing the player's hand to move without obstruction, paired with jumbo frets. The main component is the compound radius fretboard. It's curved for chords near the nut and flattens out for solos up high. This speed would be useless without stability. Jackson incorporated locking tremolo systems for extreme pitch bending in tune. The sound had to match the aggression. Jackson equipped their guitars with high-output pickups for a tight, saturated tone. So, the performance formula is clear. An effortless neck, stable hardware, and aggressive electronics. But how did they come to look that way? That purpose-built neck is why so many legends chose Jackson. It was a tool that allowed their physical abilities to match their musical ideas. It all started with Randy Rhoads and his offset V-shape, a radical design for a groundbreaking player. Then came Dave Mustaine of Megadeth with his signature King V. Its sharp points were the perfect visual for his razor-sharp riffs. From Adrian Smith's classic soloist to countless others, the brand became a staple for metal's elite. These weren't just guitars. They were symbols. The pointed headstock and aggressive body shapes became visual shorthand for heavy metal. So it was the perfect storm of fast necks and sharp looks, right? Yes, but underneath the exterior was a foundation of pure quality. Jackson didn't skimp on the fundamentals. They used high-grade tone woods like alder, mahogany, and maple. This choice wasn't arbitrary. These woods provided the resonance and sustain needed to make high-gain riffs sound massive. This commitment extended to every component. The craftsmanship ensured these weren't just stage props, but reliable instruments. The radical design was backed by careful construction. It was the total package: speed, style, and substance. Let's bring it all together and go back to that napkin sketch. Randy Rhoads wasn't just designing a cool shape. He was requesting a tool. He needed the fast neck, the stable tremolo, and the powerful tone we've just discussed. Jackson delivered, creating their DNA. The Superstrat and aggressive shapes weren't a marketing gimmick. They were a direct response to the needs of the world's most demanding players. This is Jackson's true legacy. They didn't just build guitars for rock and metal. Their designs helped define what rock and metal could achieve. It started with a simple goal: give a groundbreaking artist the tool he needed to change the world. That goal led to creations like the superfast compound radius neck, an instrument that felt like an extension of the player. And it was all wrapped in an iconic aesthetic that became the visual banner for an entire generation of rock and metal. Superfast necks, iconic design, and a heritage built by legends. That is how Jackson built its legacy. Which Jackson model do you think is the most iconic?